Greetings. Today I'm going to share with you a step-by-step process to creating your own reality. It leads on from last week's video where we went into a very deep understanding and embodiment of the nature of reality, the nature of your reality. And today I'm going to share with you how to go about actually mindfully creating your life exactly how you choose. Greetings, infinite blessings, and welcome to another moment of now and another episode of Midday Mindfulness. Scratch that, Modern Day Mindfulness. Midday Mindfulness being our podcast. So if you are new to the channel, my name is Kane Stromberg, the Kosmic Surfer, and we create these weekly videos on YouTube, 3 weekly installments, as well as the podcast. And on top of that, we have a meditation channel, mainstream meditation, where we release a weekly guided meditation. Tuning in to tune out and enjoying the adventure of life, one breath at a time. So I'm going to share with you how you go about creating your own reality. And it comes into context with actually bringing together the masculine and the feminine in unity. Knowing that light and dark are two aspects of the same whole, knowing that you are masculine and feminine, whether you are male or female, and only by fully absorbing and adopting and embodying everything in existence will you be able to live in harmony with it, as opposed to trying to struggle or run away from it. Today is actually the 13th episode, and it is also the last episode of Modern Day Mindfulness that I will be recording and sharing for a while. This is because I'm using the time elsewhere to create a portal, to create a platform where all like-minded awakened souls can come together to actually enjoy the life, the journey, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, knowing that now is the only time that we ever have. So again, last week, if you did not watch last week's episode, I strongly suggest you actually pause this video now, go back and watch that first, because it explains everything in depth and detail about how to actually go about understanding what reality is through the co-creation and experience of it, simultaneous to playing it like a game. We're playing the game whilst co-creating the game itself. So as an overview, the way that life is just like a computer game. In a computer game nowadays, we're limited to certain parameters of experience. We can go to the edge of the map, but no further. Just as people used to believe that the earth was flat. But now that we know that we can continue to go round and around and around forever, as we are eternal and infinite in potential, there is nothing we cannot experience or achieve simply by putting our mind to it with the self-belief and conviction to experience it. Everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies. And if you wish to experience the life of your dreams, the life of your envisionment, and actually manifest it into the physical so that you can walk that path, experiencing that aspect of the game, then that is yours to create. The character you play, you have chosen. You've chosen your avatar self, your body and the characteristics. You've chosen the other characters in your game, the other people alongside you that you play this game with, so that you can actually learn and grow in the experience alongside them. Some of them challenging you like a boss level, someone for you to learn from, to overcome. Other people are there to enrich you, to benefit your experience, to bring you love, to bring you joy, to bring you that peace and harmony that you have within you, that you can reflect upon them. And again, people who anger or frustrate you, they are the biggest gifts. They are the biggest teachers, as they are here to reflect a part of you externally, to show you that which requires attention, so you can go about learning and growing and transcending that otherwise limitational factor within. As above, so below, as within, so without. The ancient teachings brought to you now in a modern day context. So everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies, and in the game of life the parameters that you have the potential to experience, unlike into a computer game where there are walls or barriers or areas that you cannot experience, our potential is infinite. So, simplistically put, you are fated. You are fated to experience a certain situational outcome, a certain adventure, a certain story that you are co-creating whilst writing, whilst experiencing, collectively together, in the consciousness of humanity as well as the planet, as well as the galaxy, as well as the universe itself. So you are fated. You are fated to the potential of infinite. Every decision you make does come to be. If you focus on something negative in the future, then you align yourself with that negative potential and you actually walk a path towards it, vibrating in alignment with it and attracting to you from the universe around you that exact thing that you are trying to actually escape or move away from. There's something negative over there. I don't want to experience that, but I'm going to focus on it because I don't want to experience it, trying to get to a better outcome or conclusion of how to overcome it. And actually I've limited my perception and my gameplay to that one area. Okay? Just as the camera could not then find my face and started having a little panic attack, we can do the same when we can't actually see the bigger picture of things. By widening your horizon, by broadening your perspective, you can see all of the picture and you can come to a better conclusion about how to actually move past the limiting belief or factor or negative thought that you have attached yourself to and believe yourself to be part of or believe yourself to be on occasion. It's likened to the old teaching that my guru passed down to me. How big is your hand? Held in front of your face is all you can see. You can't see, you can't breathe. Nothing else seems to really matter other than your hand. And you lower it back down to your side where it belongs. The issue is still there, but you can see the beauty of the world around you again. Breathe deeply, connect to Mother Nature, and remember who you are in completion. And when you're ready, you can pick up your hand, realize it has another side, and potentially the answer was always on the back. Only by looking for that alternative perspective, by looking for that alternative direction or destination, will you have any chance of experiencing it. A very, very powerful tip, which is included in our free anxiety reduction course, housed on greatestversion.club, is simply to attach 4 things that you are grateful for on one hand and 4 things that you are excited for in the future upon the other, as the mind can only focus on so many aspects of reality at any one time. 9, give or take, a couple either way. So by realigning yourself to that which you're grateful for and then vibrating in gratitude and then aligning yourself with that which you're excited for in the future as opposed to anxious, you then come into a vibrational harmonic being once again. You center back to gratitude and excitement, and these are the 2 most powerful vibrational frequencies, second only to love. So by vibrating in alignment with that which you wish to experience, you then attract it from the universe around you and you create the reality of it simultaneously to experiencing it. So you are the avatar being as well as the actual creator of the game. When you align yourself with something positive, you then align yourself to that pathway of potential. So I hear you say, and it's a very valid point, but what about all the negativities? There's only so far that focusing only on the positives can take us. Yes. There is a difference of depth, of clarity and understanding when it comes to a fleeting thought or an ingrained program. And these programs can be learnt within this life or even passed down to you on a cellular level, genealogically, ancestrally. The work I do with my clients is to free them from past programs, from past limiting beliefs, negative emotions and limiting and constructive or constrictive thought processes, behaviours and patterns, as it all starts and ends in the mind. And when we don't mind something, it doesn't matter. And without the mind, there is no matter, because it's just all energy vibrating at different frequencies. Yeah. And each energetic experience is then processed through the mind. This tree, this person, this seat, this camera, it's all just energy vibrating, and I am perceiving it through the senses that I have within my human awareness of. There is a lot of reality that we are unaware of, and there is a lot of alternative realms of existence that we are also unaware of. So the way that you go about accepting everything in completion, accepting the negative aspects of reality, not trying to deny them, because that which you deny will persist. If you are sat upon a desk and somebody comes in and puts a sheet of paper on that desk, and it's something negative that you don't want to look at, a bit of work that you don't want to do, so you just ignore it, you leave it, and you focus back on the positives, back on that which you wish to do. Great, that's kept you positively aligned and vibrationally in check with who you are and that which you wish to experience. Well done. The more and more of these pieces of paper which are brought to you, if you do nothing other than ignore them and focus back on the positives, they will collect up, they'll build up, to the point where you actually can't see over this mountain of paperwork that has been placed upon your desk. That is what the collective has been doing in this situation. There is a mountain of work to be done, energetically, within the self, which is in truth within the collective. There are those of us such as myself and you, and for this I thank you with all my heart and soul, and I'm with you in completion always. So if there is anything I can do, any topic of video you would like made, please just ask and it is done. I am here to serve, and I have given my life, myself, my avatar self, as well as my eternal aspect of self, to this mission, to this quest, to create a world of true equality for all. So this paperwork, this mountain of paperwork, instead of denying it and just focusing back on the negatives, back on the positives and ignoring the negatives, what I have recently been gifted is the fact that we accept it in completion. And if you have not watched this complete series, acceptance is one of the 5 steps of freedom, which is episode number 5, maybe 4 of this series, with this one being the 13th, lucky for some. And again, if you have not, go back and watch the entire series, share it with a friend, watch the series throughout, and then upon this video, watching it again, it will actually mean something new to you, because a lot of this information I fully understand is very deep and quite difficult for an awareness of understanding. It takes me a very long time to allow for my conscious awareness to actually catch up with the energetic embodiment that I now know myself to be. So somebody gives you a sheet of paper, there's a potential negative outcome in the future. There is a world that is being more and more closely monitored, and we are being divided and repressed further and further through fear. I accept this. Don't try and deny it and focus on the positives once again. I accept that in completion and I focus back on the positives. But first of all, I take that piece of paper, I thank the person who has brought it to me. Hi John, yeah, thank you for being angry and actually triggering my inner awareness of self, so that I can check back in on myself and realize that there is something within me that is less than acceptant of the situation that you have just brought up. So now I can look at it and work out where it comes from and transcend it. Thank you, John. And after being given this piece of paper and thanking the person that has given it to you, you take all the information, you fully absorb and embody it, flow it through you, screw it up and throw it in the recycling bin, where it will be recycled, re-cleansed and redistributed by Mother Earth through grounding, which again, we have a grounding course online, greatestversion.club/grounding. grounding into the power of now, teaches you everything you need to ground to this earthly plane and into this physical body. Because as beautiful as it is to astral project and travel around with all the light beings and star seeds, that you are yourself here embodied on this earth, we are here for this earthly experience. And I'm actually going to later today record a global ascension guided meditation, and it's going to be the most powerful meditation ever created. I guarantee it, because it is created with the knowledge that it is, therefore it is, so say I, and so it is. That's it. That is the power that you have. If only you attach this to this and allow this to lead the way. So the full way, the most powerful way to accept everything that exists is to know that it does exist. There is a version of you existing now, as now is the only time that exists, and time is only dependent on any two objects in a given space, dependent on their positioning to one another. Without anybody else, without anything else, there is nothing to experience, and that is the deepest of learnings recently, that without friction, without conflict, there is nothing, because it is friction which creates the spark of energy which we are consciously then processing and experiencing. It is friction which creates existence. So every time you are triggered, or you feel negative, or you feel repressed, or less than the being of infinite potential, the being of love that you are, knowing that love is always the answer, accept that friction is actually a massive part of the experience, and without it there is nothing. And accept that there is a version of you now that exists fully repressed, governed and controlled, and there is a version of you that exists now that is free, that is running around within the grassy hills, within a summer's day, beautifully cleansing and purifying rain, naked and free, running joyfully, skipping harmonically with one another, all embraced in a big bubble of beautiful love. And there is also, again, that version of you that is existing in that tiny little bubble of fear and repression, only able to experience that tiny sense of yourself and version or perspective of reality, because within your bubble, that is all you can experience. That is all you are able to vibrate in alignment with. Every time you break through that bubble, you can experience whatever it is on the other side of it, knowing that there is nothing to be fearful of, because you are the universe itself in completion and unlimited in potential in all ways. So accept, when you have a negative thought, that it is potential, therefore it is reality, but it does not have to be your version of reality. Allow it to exist, fully acceptant of it, taking that and recycling and recleansing it back into something new. There's a dog chasing a monkjack, a small deer. Hey pup. So, that dog did not catch that deer. And the deer was focused on escaping, running away, preventing its destruction and preserving its life. But in doing so, it didn't wonder about being caught, it was just focused on what it was doing. Focus on the positives that you are creating. Focus on the now that you are experiencing, knowing that in any given moment of now, there is an infinite number of potential outcomes. So, again, you are the creator and the experiencer of the game. Liken it to the masculine and feminine aspect, to bring a second part to this video, because these are very in-depth and very expansive videos, which is part of the reason that I am being guided to actually step away from creating them and just to create the Together We Rise, the Saturday episodes, in a more quick and direct manner. Bang, 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 as everybody now wants all this information given to them straight away, as well as using that time, as I say, to create this beautiful portal so that we can all connect with one another. All rivers lead back to the ocean. All rivers lead back to the ocean. So, when you are embodied in this single self and unaware of your universal aspect of self, you are likened to a single droplet of water contained in a separate vessel, contained in a glass. When you take yourself out of that glass, out of the body, and energetically reconnect to the universe in completion through meditation, you realize, you remember that I'm not separate, I'm part of it. I'm not an individual droplet of water, I'm part of the ocean. Excuse me. I'm part of the ocean. In fact, I am the mighty ocean itself. But I cannot control the tides or the waves. I can surf upon them, enjoying the actual experience of what it is. Collectively, we do control the tides and the waves. And when we all come together energetically, collectively, we can reshape history in a single moment. And in yourself, you can create and change history, because what you do echoes for eternity around the entire universe. And it is your expansion of awareness, your expansion of consciousness, expansion of yourself that causes the very expansion of the universe itself. As you continue to expand your awareness, your consciousness, the universe must expand in order to house that continued expansion of self. So all rivers lead back to the ocean. All rivers lead back to the ocean. And each river takes its own path, its own journey, twisting and turning in all manner of shapes. And sometimes we feel that we're going towards our destination and we're on track and it's all perfect. And then we take a sharp turn. No, I didn't want to go this way. Oh, let me go back that way. Oh, I'll go back that way. And if we try to resist, it will persist. We get to a turn in the river and we go, no, we don't want to go that way. I want to go straight on. So you dig your heels in, or you try and swim back against the current, and you just tire yourself out. Eventually you will drown, you'll go under. But it's in the depths, in the darkness, where you'll rediscover your true self and learn to actually go with the flow. When the route changes, it changes for your benefit, as it is all happening for you, created by you. I used to believe that life was a river and that I was floating down it. Swim against it, you'll become tired. Go with the flow, it's beautiful. And there's always two sides to every situation, to every story, to the self. There is the good and the bad. There is the angel and then the devil. There is positive, negative, light and dark. If on the left there is positivity and on the right there is negativity, and you focus on the right hand's bank, then you're going to experience negativity. If you focus on the left, you experience positivity. They're both always there. Through the acceptance of the darkness, you can return back to the light. Through the denial of the darkness, it will persist. So, I now know, through very, very deep work, deep inner work, very deep journeying into myself, knowing that into the very depth of existence, to the very core, to the very start of that Big Bang, it lies within. And the truth is, you are not separate to it, because you are all of it in completion. You are your neighbour who is positive, as well as your neighbour who is negative. Any time that you are attached to anything, it is because you are defying or denying it, or trying to deny it. And again, that which you deny will persist. I can see how that's me, but how can that absolute narcissistic arsehole be me? Because you are it in completion. And to bring a very, very quick overview of energy balancing, there are some people who are only ever going to be asleep, narcissistic in tendency. There are other people who do things which they know to be negative, and it feels constrictive and hurts you, hurts your very being. This is to balance it out, because there is those people that are, say there's 10 people, and 5 and 5 is positive, negative. 1 is always negative. So then it's up to the other 4 to ensure that they are positive, because light will always overcome dark, and it only actually requires, it doesn't need half. only requires about 33% through the law of 3 to actually bring a shift in the consciousness awareness. By bringing the light up to 33%, the level of awareness, the level of vibration in harmonic alignment to love. So you are the river. This is the deepest of truths. This is the deepest of teachings that I can give to you today, now, with the embodiment of information that I have experienced recently. You are the river. You are unlimited in your potential of direction, and everything you are experiencing, every directional change, as much as the egoic consciousness of self may be defiant of it, your higher aspect of self is taking you upon that journey always. You are creating it all in completion. The masculine and the feminine in unity will create the pathway exactly as you see. When you're out of alignment, and if there's a change of direction that you did not necessarily consciously choose, it is to remind you to check in with yourself. Masculine is there to protect, to provide structure, safety, direction, support, to be the leader, if you like, to go out and to actually build and sustain and forage. The feminine is there to bring joy and peace and harmony and unity and love, to create, to flow, to not try and control, but to let go, to skip joyfully and harmonically with love guiding the way. Feminine is more heart-centered, more loving. Masculine is more head-based, more thinking and directing. A masculine will go in a straight line, and if it comes to a block, it will try to walk through it or bash its head through it. A feminine will flow quite often without direction, just back upon herself. It takes the coming together, the unity, the completion of self, just within a relationship, within the single self, within the most important relationship that you will ever have, which is the one with yourself. When you align your masculine and feminine in completion, you create the flow and direction of the river. The flow being the feminine, the water, the love. The masculine being the channel which she flows within. Given a safe environment to flow, the feminine will flow creatively, artistically, and without limitations. The masculine provides that structure for the feminine to flow within, artistically, freely, and creatively, without limitations. So, although the masculine is directing where we are going, it is the feminine which creates the next step in the process for the masculine to hold structure and safety and support for where we are going. It is the feminine, the divine feminine, that will lead us into the world of tomorrow, the world that we are co-creating today, the world of true equality for all. This is so. The masculine is your job, my brothers. My job is to hold space, to provide security, structure and support. So just picture it as a co-created river that is flowing in whatever direction you choose, with your masculine being created and actually the earth in front of it being worn away, melted away with love by the feminine. If the masculine is too in charge, you try and go in a straight line and you come to negative conclusions when the direction changes. If it is just very feminine, then you can end up just swirling in a pool and not really heading in any direction forwards. It is the unity of self that brings you full understanding and awareness of the co-creation of your reality. And by having a single focus of direction as opposed to 12, you focus your attention upon that single point and you flow towards it, knowing that every twist and turn is taking you there. And even if you seem to go back on yourself, you are still flowing. as it is the movement, which is the life itself, that friction of the water flowing, the feminine and the masculine rubbing against one another, united and joined in harmony, there is existence in completion. Very, very deep, very, very powerful. Fully embody this truth and you'll be free. Free to be and to do whatever you want to do without any feeling of repression or control from outside you. As I say, thank you, truly thank you for everything you do. I ask that you do head over to the Mainstream Meditation channel, Mainstream Meditation, and watch the Global Ascension guided meditation. It is going to be the most powerful thing that you ever experience, and it's going to then set you free to go about creating your life of bliss, harmony, joy, wonderment, excitement in all ways. Always. Make sure you subscribe to the Cosmic Surfer channel. And as I say, if you have not watched this full series, if you are new to the channel, head back to the very start and watch it through, as it is designed as a step-by-step process, bringing you to today, to episode 13. And I guarantee when you watch today's episode again, it will bring you a completely new level and depth and understanding and embodiment of the self, because of all the previous information up to this point. We need to learn to walk before we run, and we need to learn to crawl before we can walk. And in doing so, we continuously fall over, we continuously fail forwards, knowing that failing is falling around in learnings until realizing everything, that we are here to continuously fail, here on Earth School, and that by coming together, inspiring and supporting one another, there is nothing that we cannot experience and achieve together. United, we stand, and together we rise. Check out the link to the portal below, as we are creating it now as we speak. Enter your email address, drop your email address in the portal membership form so that you can be part of the core foundation of it, as we are going to build it together, co-creating it simultaneously to experiencing it, just as that game of life. I look forward to connecting with you all on a deeper level very soon within the next episode of Together We Rise, as we will continue to share that, as well as the United We Stand episode, which will be a live stream, a live connect, a conversation with another awakened or enlightened being in whatever context. And I will actually open up the podcast to questions as well. Whoever you would like to have on as a guest and whatever you would like to actually receive from them, drop in the comments below. Let us know where you are around the world, as well as where you are upon your awakening journey, so that we can further connect, we can further inspire one another. As my role here is to inspire you to empower yourself. And then when you become your own source of inspiration, as I am my own, you can then go out and do the same. Self-sustained. I am that which I am. Infinite in potential. Acceptant of all that is, was, or ever shall be. Living in that beautiful and free flow state. Open to hear, open to see, open to be, open to know, and always ready to let go. I am you, as you are me. We, as well as everything else, is all that is, was, or ever shall be. Universal energy, dancing rhythmically, playfully and majestically in this beautiful game that we call life. And even scientifically, there is no denying that this is right. I love you all. I thank you for everything you do. And as I say, make sure you share this video with as many people as possible, so that they can start to actually create their own reality simultaneously to you, in alignment with ours, in alignment with the projection of self that we are creating into the future moment of now. Take yourself to the future. See how beautiful it is. Come back to now and know that every step forward is taking you from this moment to that. It's a very, very powerful completion session that I have with my clients, is to go to the very future end of your timeline and beyond, to fully embody the entire universe in completion, bring it back and just create a small layer of structural self around it again. Be the universe in completion, bursting through this avatar being. Hit me up, drop me a comment, send me a message. Let me know where you are, what you're doing. I look forward to connecting with you, as I say, on a deeper level very soon. I love you with all my heart and soul.